Welcome into Chat Pack. This is the podcast where we talk about this, that, and the other thing. The full gang here.
Can I interrupt real fast?
I was going to interrupt, actually.
Ben,
Hold on.
I really need to pee. Can we just 20 seconds? And then
I'm going to finish introing the show. Yeah, we're not with the train has left the station.
I had an interruption that I wanted.
Guys, we literally did not even get 30 seconds into the show.
I would say we didn't get 10.
No way. No way. There's no chance I'm restarting the intro, Ben. You're gone.
If he restarts it, I'm leaving.
We did not even get 30 seconds into this podcast.
Well, it's because you indulge us with the little hissy fits like this. You know, it's wonderful.
I'm just saying, literally, before I was not only interrupted, but I was interrupted twice, and I was interrupted in a style that you were following up like, "Oh no, don't worry, I was already going to interrupt him," as if literally was a subconscious
guy.
Oh God. Anyway, this is what was your question? I guess. What did you need to ask me?
Oh, it's not important.
Where did I come up with the rigmarole? That's what you said, right?
Yeah, I don't really remember that being there. This is my first time being in the intro, you know?
At some point when we were still doing the show at Montrose, I came up to it and I was like, that's a perfect little intro for our podcast. But Caleb, you and Jeff need to get the new jingle. We need to get a new intro
jingle. Song. I had an idea for a jingle, actually. I'll tell you guys about it later. I don't want to release anything before we finish it, you know.
Yeah, well, knowing you guys and releasing stuff, it's going to take another year and a half. We'll see about that when it's ready.
That cuts deep. That cuts real deep, Paul.
It's because I love and support you guys. I know.
2 songs done.
It's going to come out really well. It's going to come out. I'm excited.
Have you put us on the radio again?
Oh, multiple times.
Oh, really? You got to. I mean, we're not free. You guys owe us now.
Oh, I'm just gonna keep doing it.
You owe $25 per minute of play.
$25? That's the rate of your song?
Is that
per minute of play?
For people who aren't in radio, is that like a high rate or is that like a low rate?
Dude, no one just pays for one song. You pay for services and get access to like the ability.
I'm not giving you any services. Don't get into that. I'm just talking about the music, Paul.
Oh
no, but like if you stream a song on the radio, like what does the station pay for that song?
I have to know. I haven't been in a big enough station to know like what they actually do for like a large market, because with WXQ we're not big enough to like, they don't record our numbers basically. Like we're not, you know what I mean? They will in like Southeast Ohio, but like it'll be like kind of a more variable thing, and sometimes it's really hard to like nail down like, you know, your actual your listenership and stuff. But we paid for services that would give us weekly downloads. They would say, here's this week these songs are available on this platform, and we have this library that you can access. So by paying for that service, you're paying for the ability to play that song, because the purpose of those websites and things is for radio stations, for DJs to be able to play. So it's like we pay into that service, and they, you know, the service has the ability, you know, works out deals to make the songs available for people to play and have whatever business they have with artists and things like that.
Okay, that totally makes sense.
So that's like my very basic knowledge of that. Like while I was a music director, like the thing was with all my stuff, I never got to get like super deep into a lot of the business sides or like the real nuts and bolts of stuff at the station, other than like being like good at my performances and like making my voice better and commercials and stuff, because I had to do like, you know, I was doing 3 other jobs at once. So I never got to like really dive into the tech or really dive into like researching and searching up trends and popular stuff in music. So it was more just like, hey, like these are the songs that are available if I like them, if they're interesting and like unique or like, you know,
or
are charting.
Music.
Well, yeah, the local stuff's completely different, but like there was like a chart I would follow and make sure that we'd have those songs. If they were charting, then we would get those songs in our library. But I also wanted to bring some other songs and stuff into the mix because, There was just some weird. I don't even know though, because of as much as I love my station, as much as I still work for them and all that good stuff. There's just some.
It's just such a cute little station, you know.
There's just a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have done, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We don't really want to.
No, because it's really
call outs.
Yeah, no, it's years and years of stuff, and it's just like. There's just so many variables that go into each thing too. So it's really not like the end of the world. It's just, but if I was to work for a station here, and hopefully when I eventually do work for a station up here, because again, as much as I like where I'm working now, I didn't come to Chicago to like scoop cream cheese and shit. So
there we go.
I mean, that sounds like Jeff's ultimate goal.
Yo, Jeff, I don't think I'm gonna blow Jeff's mind. Like I will get so many bagels, probably, and he could have them all. I mean,
you're not going to give any to me?
I mean, you guys can.
That's
take
ridiculous.
Them. You guys.
I was going to bring you such a nice present too. I had it all wrapped up, and it's really nice. And I'm going to leave it here now.
No, I mean, y'all can take the bagels, but
I don't want your hairy bagel.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
It's ironic.
Only a matter of time. Only a matter of time before Paul finds a customer that's just rubbing him the wrong way, and he says, "Have you ever had a hairy bagel?"
I'll serve you the hairy bagel. That's what I'll give you.
And you're gonna serve them up a nice buttered hairy bagel.
Oh man, I would make it. Oh, Trevor, you bet it would be buttered.
Well, cream cheese smear on it
right in the belly button. It would just put a little bit of cream cheese right in the belly button. That's right.
Before Paul goes to work, he oils up. Actually,
you never know.
Oh gosh,
you got to stay lubed.
He's such a hairy man too. That much oil sounds awful.
I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to eat another bagel again.
You will.
I can eat one right now.
We'll have to do. Are you guys going to go? Are you going back to Athens for homecoming, Trevor?
That's a good question. We actually were just talking about it the other day. I don't know if it'll be this year's homecoming, but future homecomings for sure.
Is this a podcast?
Yeah, this is. I don't know why that came to my head. I literally just thought of that just now, and I decided to throw it, just throw it out there. Why not?
Yeah. Why not?
Actually, I have something kind of funny for you guys, and or Caleb. I'm curious about your comments on this. Will's trying to put a limit on how many random songs I'm allowed to sing in a day, and I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a bunch of horse shit. I think it's a bad.
It's a good idea.
I think that's a fine idea.
That's a really good idea.
I wanted to get your guys' feedback on that. Let me know what you think.
The feedback is it's a really good idea.
Why the hate over me singing?
Yeah, it's just you need a limitation. You don't want to run dry.
I could never run. The old machine's always working up there, Caleb.
He's oiled up. He's got oil.
I wake up. I'm oiled up.
I always imagine the old machine in your mind, just like that monkey slamming two cymbals together, like the alarm clock.
Right?
Just running on double A's.
I think I run on like D batteries. I feel like.
Oh yeah, you do.
I got a lot of juice, but a long recharge time.
Wait, which one's the D?
Okay, you say you run on D batteries, and then you say you got a lot of juice. You're really reaching for something, Paul, and I think I know what it is.
Was that a guest appearance from the background? I know exactly who that was.
Yeah, that's Jeff yelling at me.
Jeff's gonna have
him on sometime.
Jeff walked away.
Oh, I was gonna say have Jeff come tell us what he's thinking about.
I look like he actually just cream cheesed a bagel. That's probably what he's thinking about. Ironically enough,
dude.
Hey, doesn't this show have topics? Aren't there topics?
This is what we're talking about right now. Here's the topic right here. We're talking about bagels right now. Wait. I scoop so much cream cheese at this place. Like Jeff, I don't think.
Where do they get? Wait, okay, where do they get their cream cheese from? Does it come in like vats?
It comes in like blocks, and then they mix it up in this big mixer, and then like we have to hand mix our specialty cream cheeses. Because, dude, we don't have time for that shit. They make the bagels every day, and like it's like.
Are there that many people coming?
on Saturday and Sundays, dude, that place is it's so busy. But the weekdays, it's not too bad. But like, dude, yeah, we'll probably do 4 times the business on Saturday and Sunday than we will during the weekdays.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Damn. The other way around. Actually,
guys, we spent 36 seconds on the intro, and we've spent 12 minutes on bagels.
I haven't actually even introduced everyone. I'm Paul Holden.
I think we should just start this over.
No, we're not. Why does everyone want to start this over? The sky has gotten even wilder out here.
You screwed it up, Paul.
The sky has gotten even more crazy here. It's now an orange glow. It's pretty cool outside right now.
Everybody, anyway, I'm making the motion to start this over. All agree. Say aye.
No, we're so far in. It's 8:30.
I heard one aye. It's 2 versus 2. It's 8:30 for you. Remember, it's 9:37.
That's what I'm saying. Why would we start over?
Because we've been talking about starting it over, and that's really tacky.
Anyway, we're just gonna nip that in the bud right now. It's over. No, I'm putting my foot down. Executive
Paul is
decision.
taking control of his ship. We are proceeding.
I want to approach my topic, which I can't remember what it is.
Let me do one thing first. I'm Paul Holden. I'm one of your co-hosts. I am joined by the other 3 members of the chat pack. We got Caleb John Cole.
Caleb John Cole. I get all 3 names.
Yeah, then I was always worried about using other people's
Caleb John.
Names. Caleb John.
That's what my mom says.
We also got Ben Colvin.
Hello.
And we got Trevor Heim, the man, the myth, the legend.
That'd be me.
The technical director.
Caleb, I want you to get to your thing, but I just wanted to point out that Trevor's dad tweeted at me today.
No.
Paul Holden is the best pot washer in Chicago. Ellipses. That is all. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out.
You just wanted to make sure that it was known that Scott appreciates you more than every other dishwasher in Chicago.
Yeah.
I think that's nice.
I think so too. Anyway, Caleb.
You know how like a coffee shop is coffee on it? There should be a little sign that says "World's Best Dishwasher."
Put my picture there.
That's you.
Hey, let's go Midwest.
It's the fathead picture.
Yeah, we could do that. Anyway, Caleb, what's your topic?
My topic. So it came from so you guys know, but some people who are listening don't realize that I'm in a band and it's called The Larger Sound. None of us really like the name The Larger Sound, and so we've been kicking around a few other names, and one of them was Ready Aim Flowers. The most recent one that Steve and I have been pretty into was the Discovery Marks. But it kind of prompted me to think, how important do you think a name is, not only to a band, but to any project or movie or whatever? How important do you think that is to just the success of that piece of art?
I think it's very important, and I think it's something that it's one of those first impression things, because even if the movie looks like crazy, or if the movie looks like iffy, or something looks like iffy, and then it has a weird or a name that doesn't work, I feel like then it's just like out the door. It's ridiculous at that point. So I feel like it's also able to overcome and like it could set off some intrigue. Like, for example, like, I don't know, for some reason, the thing I thought about is Detective Pikachu. Like, that's just like, it's an interesting name. Why is there a detective? It makes you like think and like interested in it, but it also sounds ridiculous and could be one of those things that like could be perceived as super ridiculous.
Well, it could be terrible.
Right. It was not terrible though.
It wasn't. That's surprising.
No,
I kind of expected that to be terrible.
It was awesome.
The animation of that, it's just like a little fluffy, like it's like that whole, like, you remember the Sonic debacle? The whole internet just exploded because they were like, this Sonic the Hedgehog
is a nightmare.
Yeah, to be fair, it looked like
bad.
A little plush toy that they pulled off.
I was completely unfazed by it. I thought it looked perfectly normal. I think I'm the only person in the entire world that has that view.
I think you might be. I think you're actually...
Have you played a Sonic game?
Yeah! Not since I was very young, but I played them.
So you're aware that Sonic does not look like that?
Ben, are you...
But it's an animated movie, like, have some fun with it. It doesn't have to look the same.
He looks like a furry. That's terrifying.
I'm with Trevor on this, Ben. I'm sorry.
I like the sneakers. He had cool sneakers on. I thought Not those stupid
Ben.
pointy shoes. Am I gone?
No, you're good. You're good.
I was on a rant about shoes. The original Sonic shoes that are just like red triangles, I hated those. So I liked that he had nice like Nikes on. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I bet you like that product placement, didn't you?
Marketing, man. That's what your name comes down to. The name of your band is just marketing.
It really is.
It's just that first impression.
I think that like one thing I've said a lot too is that like the band, we're all from Athens, and the band that has come out of here that's been the most successful recently has been Camp. And I've said a lot that like they make pretty good music, but I think that what really propelled them so quickly is their name. It's Camp, but it's CAAMP. And when you look at that, like whether you're scrolling through Spotify or you see it on the sidebar in YouTube or SoundCloud or whatever you're looking at, I think that it's just there's something so aesthetic about the way that the letters mingle. And so when you look at it, you just want to click it. And like that's such an important thing in like today's technology driven age, is that you have to want to click it.
I think that you should do Ready Aim Flowers, because it's like something people already know, so they're going to remember it a lot better than some.
What do you mean?
Names.
I don't
like Ready
Aim Fire. So you already have like a couple neurons in your brain that are there for Ready Aim Fire. So when they hear that name, they'll remember it because it's associated with something else that they already know.
Interesting take on it. What do you, Paul? You were gonna say something. You didn't like that. You don't like Ready Aim Flowers?
I like the names ish themselves, but I don't know if they represent what y'all are about. I don't know.
Well,
none of them jumped out at me as. I don't know. That one didn't. I don't know. I feel bad for saying that and then not having like an example in my head. But maybe it's also like because I've known you guys as the larger sound for so long now at this point, and it's like been more established for me that it's like harder for me to like, because like at first like the larger sound like didn't really do much, but then I don't know, it's grown on me, but it's also just been a long time. So
it sounds like the larger sound sounds like a band that would not have any lyrics. Like they would
not have any what?
Like it would be like synthy music or like something where there's no vocals at all.
See, but I think when I see a Ready Aim Flowers, I think of like a girl rock band or something, or like a girl band.
So.
I do have long hair, but I also have a huge beard.
I think there's a dinosaur name, or there's going to be a term in paleontology. I think that's
why Discovery Marks. Discovery Marks is a term from like when we were out in Montana digging up dinosaur bones. I remember we were out in the Badlands and like storms started rolling in, and it was like really intense. Like me and Steve are sitting there, dink, 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 like knocking away at the matrix around this bone, and we like look up and we're like, oh shit,
matrix bone.
Well, matrix is like the dirt in the rock around a bone, like what it sits in, the matrix. And so we like look up and we're like, oh shit, those are very dark clouds. And then it starts thundering very loudly. And at first it's really far away, and then all of a sudden it's right above us, and we're like, we're gonna go. And so we like hoofed it, like hauled ass up to the truck, and then we got in and we were sitting there and we were talking about how like we had both broken a couple teeth the day before, and we're like, like that sucks, but like, and I think I had said like, well, it's just Discovery Marks, because like it's just kind of something that like they had always said when we first showed up, because everybody breaks a tooth, everybody breaks a little bone, because that's how you have to find it at first. And so every time you break it, it's just a Discovery Mark, You know
what I imagine when you say Discovery Mark? I imagine like an explorer whose name is Mark. That's
I think it's maybe that's why it should be the Discovery Marks.
The Discovery Marks. But now I'm thinking of multiple explorers.
Well, Ben, I think that's isolated to you, just kind of like you're the only one who felt like Sonic looked good,
Okay, but on the Sonic subject,
I feel a little less validated now.
The genie, Will Smith genie, was very bad.
I believe that. I very much believe that. They should have had Jim Carrey do it. That's who I would have cast in that role.
Well, yeah, so it probably would have been pretty good, actually.
I mean, Robin Williams is like a very...
Yeah, he is Dr. Robotnik.
In that... Wait, who?
In Sonic.
He's Dr. Robotnik, the villain.
He actually looks pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? That's.
I think he's going to steal that show.
I mean, Jim Carrey is a pretty phenomenal actor. Kind of a crazy person, but a phenomenal actor.
Definitely, yeah.
So going back to the name thing, as someone who's been interested in marketing like most of his adult life, I feel like a name is an important thing for sure, but I think people often spend too much time dwelling over like what their name should be.
Listen to this wisdom.
So just like speaking or like
this
talking
is what
about
we need, Trevor.
This is not what you need?
No, this is what we need. We need
so
this
like,
wisdom.
Talking about band names, like a couple of names that come to mind that are just kind of ridiculous but are still popular bands is like Rainbow Kitten Surprise, Neutral Milk Hotel. Like those are just nonsense.
The Rainbow
basically.
Kitten Surprise is probably like the front runner. It's just like, what the hell? But they're really successful. Like,
and then like outside music, I always think of like the prime example is Kinko's, like FedEx Kinko's. Kinko's was a copy business and like it did really well and the guy made a lot of money, but Kinko's is like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah, like
That's true.
Same thing with the arcade, like the Rainbow Kitten Surprise thing. It's just like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
And I think that like this was kind of spurred on by like, there's this local band around us. It's like just these two girls. They just trade back the acoustic guitar and they have just these beautiful floating harmonies that are just like that, and the guitar just like weaves this really, really like sad, melancholic but beautiful, like Bon Iver kind of music. And their name is Magnolia Child. And like when we heard that name and then we heard them play, it was like, oh my gosh, like
that's
they
an awesome
are
name.
that name. Yeah, it's an amazing name. Like, and it just like fits when you hear the words Magnolia Child, and like the way that you respond to those is the same way that I respond to the music. Like, it just fits so well. And I think that's what we're kind of looking for. But at the same time, I think you're probably right. It's like, it's not going, like, you can't have terrible music and have a great band name and then be super popular.
Yeah, you can have the best name in the world, and it's not going to guarantee that you're going to do well for yourself.
Yeah, but, like let's say just like you're the worst band in the world. Let's just say U2. You know, it's just not going to go well.
Wait a second.
I think it's gone pretty well for U2.
Yeah, I
know. I think memorable. You should go for memorable because people will want to go back and find your music, right?
Yeah,
and you've also been advertising yourself as this name for quite some time. Yeah. Does that worry you at all with changing your brand or whatever?
We haven't released anything under that, and it's not like we have a small bit of following around Athens, but it's like, you know, not anything so significant that it's a struggle to change it.
Yeah, that was going to be my other thought. Is like,
oh, sorry, Trevor.
That was just my other thought. Was like once you decide on something, like you guys need to kind of stick with it, because if you go through too many name changes, then like you're just going to lose your audience every time you change your name.
Of course. Yeah, and that's what we said is like once we release music, we're not changing it. Like, but we haven't released music. We're like getting close to that point, and that's why we're laboring over that.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Paul?
I was going to just say, like, I can't really remember where I was going with it, but for some reason, like Into the Unknown just popped into my head as an interesting one. I don't know.
Popped it into your head, or you pulled it out of your butt?
The symbols? Was that?
It did.
Yeah.
It actually came from the cartoon that Will and I just watched. That was very, very good. Over the Garden Wall, 10 episodes. Frodo does the voice of one of the characters. It's very cool.
Elijah Wood is his name. He has feelings.
But no, it was like super cool. The animation style and like the art style they went with, a lot of stuff was cool. The story was awesome. The voice acting was really good. The art was really cool, but that's where it came from.
Is that the first time you've seen Over the Garden Wall?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I heard about it. I knew about it, but I never had watched it. And then I just did like over the last week. It's awesome.
Dude, it is a great show. If anyone hasn't watched it, go check it out for sure.
Yeah, it's really 10-minute episodes. It's super easy to watch. It's super cool. Like the stories they tell are awesome. Yeah, surprisingly deep. And then like just the things they do are cool. Greg's the man. He's hilarious.
That's the little kid, right?
Yeah, they name a frog Dr. Cucumber at one point. It's awesome. It's a good time. But anyway, I don't know, dude. I feel like you just gotta. If you guys think, if you guys, I feel like the other thing too is if you're creating the art, then you name it what you feel is best to represent the art as well. Like no one's gonna think know better than y'all for the name. In some ways, like obviously you can take some, you take feedback, but like you'll know what the name's gonna be. So will you like rebrand with the release then?
Did he leave?
Did we lose him?
He's writing down name ideas right now. He's gone.
We lost him.
No, you didn't.
Oh.
Hey, there he is.
I've made it.
Did you hear my question?
No, I did not.
I said some long spiel, and then I ended with, when you guys release the album or EP, are you going to rebrand then?
We're thinking about it. Like that's why we were kind of kicking around these other names. Dave's currently out of town and getting back tomorrow, and so we're gonna try to sit down and figure out something.
The Soul Patch Boys.
Back. Soul Patch Boys. Would we all grow soul patches?
SPBs.
That's for you guys to decide.
SPB. All the fans call us SPIB.
Spibs.
Peanut butter and tuna time.
Peanut butter and tuna time?
Yeah, there you go.
People do that. That's disgusting. Ugh. What does the world come to?
Okay. How do you feel about carrots and peanut butter?
Delicious.
Probably good. I don't know if I'd really eat that, though.
Ben, that is really ironic that you're asking me this, because on this trip that I just went out to Montana, I ate so much carrots and peanut butter, and I'd never done it before. Steve just is really into it, and so I started doing it, and it's delicious.
Of course Steve's into it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a health maniac.
He is a health maniac, and he's built like an Adonis.
He's built like Hercules. It's
wow,
amazing.
Paul.
Dude, I mean, Trevor, you should. This guy is fit. He's a good-looking dude. He is.
Paul, hold on. You can't
just
date
saying,
anybody in my band, Paul.
I am happily in a relationship. I'm just calling it as I see it.
You're telling me that Ava doesn't want to mix it up with Steve? Come on.
I don't think so. I hope.
I'm just saying when we played Frisbee.
Hope she doesn't listen to this one.
When we played Frisbee, he would run at people, and just the sound of him coming towards them, they would just like drop the Frisbee.
That dude's built like a middle linebacker.
Yeah,
it looks like freaking Brian Urlacher's coming running unblocked up the middle at you.
Rob Gronkowski, right there.
That's just,
catch ball.
And he's just got a python.
Gronk ball.
I mean, he's
what, Trevor?
Whoa.
Hold on, let's go back to what Trevor said. I want to just make sure that we all understand what he meant by python. Because I think we know.
I love that when I started to say that, there was just a little bit of a lull in the conversation. It just hit the silence perfectly.
Oh, man.
That's inappropriate.
Well, he does.
But yeah, we agree, right?
He has a python.
Well, yeah.
I don't know, though. I feel like usually like the smallest, skinniest kids just have the largest members.
Okay.
Every time.
Wait, are we not talking about reptiles? Because he has a pet python, I thought.
Yeah, member of the reptilian club.
Oh, okay.
My coworker, I guess, breeds lizards, and they're very expensive. So I learned about that at the bagel shop last week.
Speaking of
bagels, what did you just say?
I could sell on the dark market for,
It's a him, but
or for him. I don't know why I assumed it was a woman.
You think only women can breed reptiles there, Caleb?
I think only women can work at a bagel shop,
Whoa.
Wow.
Wait, so Paul, is your coworker a doomsday prepper?
No, just likes reptiles and knows the money in them, but
I watched
reptiles.
I watched a Netflix documentary on doomsday preppers, and one bred reptiles to fund their like bug out bag stuff. So I thought, I'd just take a long shot there, see if it was the same person.
That was a long shot, Ben.
I guess so. I mean,
that was
you never know. I'm always trying to make connections.
Did you account for the curvature of the Earth in that shot?
Yes, I read it.
He renounced. He renounced his belief of flat Earth.
Yeah, let's give him a break. He said it one time, and like a week later, he's like, you know what, guys? I was wrong.
All right,
let's move on. It's been years.
Well, yeah, because he was probably just like sick of all the hate. He probably still believes it. But the dude plays basketball well. Does it really matter what he thinks about the Earth being
not that
flat?
well? Do you see the Bucks series?
Let's take this moment. It's time for Ben's NBA free agency preview. Ben's free agency preview. Ben, tell us what's going to happen in basketball, and you got a very limited amount of time. But give us
Thaddeus Young to the Clippers.
There you have it.
Where Kevin Durant
happening in basketball?
Where's Kevin Durant going?
Nobody. I don't know. He's probably going to sign for the vet mid somewhere.
And he's not going to play next year because he exploded his foot in a game that he shouldn't have played in.
Did he step on a line?
I don't know if he should say that.
He tore his Achilles, and he got into a basketball game when he wasn't 100%. And you do it because you're an athlete, and you do it because you're in the finals. But he should not have played in that game, and they should not have played him.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think that if you have an opportunity to three-peat in the NBA, that is basically the pinnacle of your career. So are you really going to sit out to miss out on that opportunity because of
that's why he didn't. But I'm just saying, in reality, he knew, and people knew, and the reports before that game, they should have shut him down at the last second. I don't think they should have let him play, and I should have think they would have let him play in Game 6 personally. Let him get a little bit more time. I mean, he was on fire, but like when when you play at that high level and you're that elite of a player, and there's any like you just, I don't know. It was I don't think it would happen, but like if it wasn't his Achilles, it would have been his knee, and it could, I don't know.
I mean, that's the worst injury you can get, pretty much.
Yeah, he had literally the worst injury happen. He's gonna. Well,
decapitation would be the worst, but
that's not really an injury.
Whoa, hold on. What if somebody removed all of your toenails and then cut off your tongue using them?
Whoa, wow,
that could be a worse injury than decapitation.
That's going to happen on a basketball court?
All right, does somebody else have a topic? Can we get out of this conversation?
Anyway, that was
Trevor at work. They stopped talking about basketball.
That was the free agency look from Ben Colvin. Hey, we need free agency with Ben Colvin.
What the fuck was that?
That was my outro jingle for it.
That's Paul's best attempt at making Caleb uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm good at.
You're very good at it.
Anyway, we didn't get to what Trevor and Ben wanted to talk to last week. Ben already notified us in the pre-Discord chat
the warm-up before the real
that he doesn't remember, which doesn't surprise me at all. Trevor, do you remember your topic from last week that you didn't get to talk about?
What, Paul? I think I do because I wrote it down.
Oh,
yeah, Ben.
Coincidentally, that's what I told Ben to do.
Of course, Trevor's the prepared one.
So
I wrote it down. I just forgot where to put the
paper. You got to write down where you put the paper that you wrote the stuff on.
See, come on, Ben.
Darn.
So I'm interested to hear from you guys because I feel like this is something that just about everyone has experienced at some point or another. And I actually have a decent story about it myself, but I was curious, like, what was do you guys remember what the first time was that someone offered you drugs?
Oh boy.
Oh god.
Well, actually, this isn't the first time.
We lost Ben.
Oh wait. Well, oh man, really, I'm sorry about my mic.
No, you're fine.
This isn't the first time, but this is a really good time. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, lay it on us.
I think you guys know about this, but when we were living in our college house, we had that groundskeeper guy, or he was like everything. He was our painter, or he would mow our lawn, like a little
maintenance man.
I remember that guy. I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, I do remember that guy.
Oh, wait, in Montrose.
Yeah. So he went up into our attic, and he found like some bat guana, like bat poop.
Bat guano.
Guano. It comes out of your cloaca, which I think is what we learned last week.
They don't have cloacas, they have buttholes. Anyway,
I thought a cloaca was a butthole.
No,
not really.
It's
It's much more versatile than that.
It can do it all. It's like a all-in-one genital, basically.
Wow.
Anyway, that's not the point.
It's the fun hole.
It's the all-in-one genital.
That sounds amazing.
Butthole, vagina, dick, all right here.
Oh,
anyway,
God.
okay. Anyway,
Right.
so he goes up to the attic. He sees that there's some bat poop because we had a bat problem in that house. It was a college house.
I caught and removed 8 bats in that
Wow.
home.
That was crazy.
One of which was in a washer.
That was fun.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
poor
have to deal
guy.
with any of that. I got to be on the bottom floor. I said, fuck you guys.
I remember I was up in my room hanging out with somebody. I can't remember why, but my closet door was cracked and a bat just flew in. And that person was like, "Oh my God, bat." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a bat." And I just grabbed a box and scooped it up and threw it out and continued our conversation. And they asked me later, they're like, "Aren't you more surprised a bat just flew out of your closet?" And I think that was 6 or 7.
Yeah, I was like, "No, they're just up there pooping."
They just came right in through your closet. That was the main entrance for the bats.
Yeah,
But
I should have
anyway.
put a welcome mat there.
Anyway, this
So
guy.
Ben, someone offered you drugs. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so he
The
mentioned
maintenance
he's like,
man.
"Oh, I could use that bat guana. I need it for fertilizer." I was like, "Huh? Do you guys remember that?" Anyway,
Yeah,
So
well, he
I
also
was-
saw my bag of earthworm castings sitting there. And he was like, "Oh, plant biology, earthworm castings, fertilizer, bat poop, pot." That's how he made it there.
yeah. But so then
Everyone, of
where
course,
I'm-
makes those conclusions based on those things.
But so I'm coming back from class, and he had just finished up mowing our lawn or whatever, and he drives his van, which is I'm walking down the driveway. He gets in his van and he drives his van up to me, so he drives it 5 feet, and then rolls down the window, which is already okay, and then he just holds out a nugget of weed. And he says, "Would you like to buy this?" And I knew he had grown this with bat poop.
And so, what was your
that was
answer?
that's a no for me, dog.
Hey,
So-
you eat mushrooms, right?
Are they grown with bat poop?
They are grown with all
Manure.
types of poop and pee.
Hopefully not human poop. That's
Well, yeah,
So-
I don't think that one because
As you're explaining this, Ben, I'm connecting some dots over here, and I'm wondering if perhaps the bats were planted by our maintenance guy so that he could harvest
Boom.
guano.
There we
That's
go.
right.
It's all part of the operation. I can't
bat
remember the
farm.
first time
How
that
could we be so
someone
blind?
offered me drugs, but I have one of my first stories involving drugs that I always remember is I was with Will and I think someone else as well, and we're up in Vail for a free concert. It was a modest Wyclef Jean. It was a free Wyclef Jean concert up in Vail where Will has a mountain house, and we went there and we saw the concert, and then there a bunch of people were smoking weed around us, and then when we got back we were like, we're secondhand high. We need to go and eat a bunch of food and do this because we're so secondhand high. Because that's what everyone. We're just there's so many. People are smoking weed here, and we're right
The
next
devil's
to
lettuce.
it. Oh my God! And then that's just one of my earliest memories of that. I don't really have any full memory of someone just been hey, you want some drugs?
So I had almost exactly that happen. So
does this include one of us, Trevor?
No. So this is kind of what made me think about this topic is it just came to me the other day, and I hadn't remembered it in a long time. But basically, if I could paint the picture, I was in
you're
6th
five and there
grade.
was a van.
No, when I was in 6th grade, I lived in Columbus, and I lived down the street from one of my best friends. And we got to that age, where your parents are like, yeah, you can be out, a little late and do whatever. And so they started letting us walk down the street to the gas station because there was a carry-out gas station just a few blocks down the street. They'd let us walk down the street, and we'd buy Arizona iced teas, and then we'd walk back to the house and we'd play video games and whatever. So here we are, a couple of 6th graders doing our usual thing, walking down to the gas station to get Arizona iced teas. And as we come out of the gas station, this guy literally like emerged from the shadows like something in a movie, and all he said was, "Y'all smoke trees?" And I had no idea what that meant at the time, but I looked at my friend and he just goes, no, and just takes off running like full speed. And so I watch him run away from me, and then I look back at the guy and I was just like, sorry, and then started running away too. And we just sprinted all the way back to my parents' house, and we were just like, well, that was bizarre. I don't know what that was all about.
Well, you're in like, that's what Smokey the Bear was talking about. These guys are smoke out
Smokey the Bear?
trees.
Isn't it the Scruff McGruff? What's his name?
McGruff the crime dog?
McGruff, that's his name.
No, I'm talking about Smokey the Bear, you know, like
forest
trees.
fires, Paul.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Always explaining the bits for the lower people listening.
Is the peanut gallery in the back?
What?
Are you hearing things?
I kept hearing Jeff
sorry.
in the background.
Yeah, there's other people. I'm in the living room
What's Jeff saying?
petting the dog currently.
Anyway.
Caleb lives at 15.
But yeah, so at the time, I didn't know that smoking trees meant anything, but I was mostly just hurt that my friend would abandon me like that when someone just came out of the shadows.
His mom said
He
drugs were bad, and
abandoned
he
you.
said, get out of there. So he just said, it's all or nothing, fight or flight, man. And I'm flying.
To be fair, Trevor, I don't think smoking trees really does mean anything. I think he's just trying to...
he's stretching a little bit there.
I don't know about that. It's definitely slang.
Trees.
Trees?
That's just an interesting thing. I don't know. The first time.
It's a
especially
bush.
back when it was, what had that been, like
Yeah,
the
it's more of a
early
bush.
2000s? Dude, how
yeah.
cool would it have been, was it when you first got you can walk to those places by yourself privileges, and at night, oh man,
Dude,
game
so
changer.
rad. I was one of those
it was
kids
so
that like
important.
when the streetlights came on, I better have been back at the house by the time the streetlights came on.
Damn,
I like that
really?
rule. That's a cool rule.
Yeah, it was cool until all your friends could hang out like super late and play video games, and you're like, well, I gotta go home. The lights came on.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah, I
winter
never
time,
had
it's
that
like
rule.
5.
I don't think because I had lived across the street from a close friend of mine because I was homeschooled, and so I was over there, and then I would always call on their home phone, and it was like, Caleb, come home. I never had the streetlight rule.
Do you ever talk to your? Do you ever
That's an artifact?
Do you ever
The
talk to your
home
friends on a? Ever talk to your friends on a land?
No. When was the
I
last
did.
time?
I did. That.
I did. Of course
Yeah,
you did.
definitely.
Back in the day, but not now.
You remember memorizing your friends' phone numbers? That was the best.
I had the directory from the school.
Ah,
Cheat sheet, so I was able to look up people's numbers and stuff.
Why? Because they were like, I'm not going to give Paul because he'll call me.
Well,
So you have to look it up.
Mom, can you
I
please
just
keep our
didn't
name
memorize
off the directory so Paul doesn't call us?
I mean, you could opt out of the directory, so maybe that was a reason why. Guys, there's this kid at school. We can't have him have any
Smells
any
like
form
ketchup.
Yeah, he
of
smells
our
just like
information.
ketchup.
No, I bet the ketchup wasn't until middle school. I'm sure I smelled like some other random substance in elementary
It's
school.
mustard through elementary school.
I hope it wasn't mayo.
Ugh, no.
Oh.
God. Mayo's gross.
Mayo's so gross.
I do come home from work smelling like cream cheese, though. That's
I don't
for
mind
sure.
That's
mayo.
a good smell. That's a good smell.
Nah, cream cheese and body odor is not a good smell. I will
Trevor,
tell
do
you
you
that
not
right
like any food? I feel like you like every food.
I will literally eat anything.
Yeah, yep. I'd say the data suggests that conclusion.
now. Is there like a Salt Lake City specialty? Like,
Fry
is there
sauce.
like fry sauce?
Wait, really?
That's the call to
Trevor,
fame.
you moved to the right place. I remember you making fry sauce back in Ohio.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you
I made those
sit
battered
down in a
fries,
restaurant here that serves French fries and they don't give you fry sauce, it's like it's you walk out. You can't even how am I supposed to eat this?
Is there a Mormon specialty? Because I feel like the Salt Lake specialty is Mormon.
Fry sauce.
Well, so
and soda.
Is it true that they have soda pop stores where it's just you go in?
So there are like huge chains of drive-throughs that are strictly soda. You drive through and you get a soda.
What the hell?
So is it like they
That's
have
awful.
Do they have
There's a lot of
flavors at least? Or is it just like...
Oh yeah, they do. They add in like you can add in all sorts of crazy flavors and
like
whatever.
Vanilla. What could you?
So much more random sugar shit that just makes soda already like even.
Aren't Mormons like against sugar, or is that just caffeine?
Coffee.
Coffee. So they'll drink like a Red Bull.
Actually,
too
we
vulgar
have
marketing.
We have a fridge in our office that is just like strictly Red Bull.
Are you kidding me? So you go against coffee, but you'll drink Red Bull?
I don't know, man. Coffee's the liquid that, and tea.
John Smith said no.
John Smith? I don't think it's John Smith, is it?
I've heard some interpretations that people say that maybe John Smith burnt himself on a coffee or a tea and said, no more of this.
That sounds pretty darn close to how
That sounds Mormon. I'm not going to hold back. That sounds very Mormon.
Dude, I don't know. That's
the rules for them. That's what they say. Them's the rules, I suppose.
You know, if I was the leader of some giant group of people and I found that there was something that I just couldn't do very well, I would ban it.
Yeah,
and I wholeheartedly believe that.
Yeah, I would be like, you know
Ben,
what?
What are your feelings on Kool-Aid? Sorry, that was dark. Sorry,
I don't know what that is. I don't know what the reference
Forget it.
I was homeschooled. I don't know these.
What a weird podcast.
Ben was homeschooled?
Ben was homeschooled? Yeah, he was
And
homeschooled
Caleb
more
was
than I was.
Wait, there's a negative
5%
5% chance that you didn't know that.
Yeah, I agree with Paul. That came out at some point.
That came up probably so. I probably have made that.
I think we even did a homeschooled versus public schooled match of some video game.
Yeah,
no.
I'm
pretty sure we did that. There's probably like a VOD on the Chat Pack Twitch.
What's a VOD?
We gotta get some stuff. A video on demand? What are you talking about, Trevor? You're a kid of the internet.
A kid of the internet.
Okay, so
okay.
Well, you guys want to hear a cool homeschool story?
Yes.
All right.
100%.
It's really cool, guys. So we had a mock trial team.
Okay.
And it was
objection.
Pretty much that was what we did. But there were like 7 of us. So it was like the 7 homeschoolers, whatever, were on the mock trial, right? And so we played against the first, or like the high school for our county, Athens High School. And we demolished them. So it was literally the entire high school of kids trying to like do mock trial or whatever versus 7 kids with tube socks almost up to their knees. And the tube sock kids not only beat them, but we went on to get second in state.
Wait. Is tube socks
You're a
up to the
lawyer
knees?
and a doctor, Ben.
I was a timekeeper. So really.
Is tube socks up to the knees a uniform for homeschooled kids?
Actually, I never encountered any homeschooling or tube socks up the knees. It was usually polos. Polos were really popular.
Ugh.
With the homeschool
polos
crowd.
were popular when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like
I always thought that's how I could impress girls, was if I wore polos.
How'd that work?
Aristotle. Hey, it worked pretty well, man. I got a kiss in middle school.
Ooh.
That's, yeah. You know?
Will had to eat paper for my first kiss, though, because it was so awkward.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that.
Wait. What?
He's such a homie, man. Listen to that.
It's why Will's a great friend. For some, it was the era of getting your first kiss videotaped, because that was
not a thing.
That was definitely not a thing.
Bullshit.
That was not a thing.
That's definitely was a thing.
I think that was just like the weird guy down the road who was like, "Can I videotape?"
No,
this?
it was.
And you were like,
girl.
"Sure."
It was another girl. It was the friend of the girl.
How much older was she? Like 55?
No, they were all
really short hair.
God, that is so creepy.
Jean jacket.
What year was this, Paul?
In a straight denim dress.
I want to say it was 7th grade. This happened.
Wait. So there's a tape?
No, it was 6th grade.
So what you're saying is,
I guess
video exists somewhere of you kissing this poor girl.
If you could somehow find the SIM card of that old ass phone and then somehow possibly, I don't know. But SIM cards, that doesn't make sense. There's not that type of shit.
That doesn't make any sense.
Hey, shut up, Caleb. I realize that. But anyway, yeah, no. So me and this girl, it was Valentine's Day. I did a whole cool thing. I killed it, and then we were in her basement, and then we did the thing while the girl's like, "Oh my god," she was freaking out. Will was there. He was just sitting there,
eating paper, shoving it in
just doing whatever the fuck, and see, I kissed her, and then I very awkwardly said hugs, and then gave her a hug.
No, that makes me have physical pain.
Yeah,
and then
so
after that, it was so unbelievably uncomfortable.
You don't
Will had
say.
to eat paper. Will ate paper. That was the only, and then we left. I'm pretty sure shortly after that. So yeah, that's why Will's my best friend. One of the many reasons. He's always got my back through it. He's been helping me with my embarrassments longer than anybody has at this point.
So like the eating paper thing, is that just to draw attention away from the awkwardness that is you?
It was to literally have anything else happen in that awkward ass basement, and he
just started consuming paper.
He acted quickly. He just was like eating paper. And
so did you guys ever, when you were kids, did you eat paper?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I did that.
Spitballs.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I definitely made spitballs. That was the thing.
That was definitely the only way to have spitballs.
Mm-hmm. I remember making a huge one and throwing it like it was like our music teacher in 8th grade. Trevor, do you remember? I think your name was Mrs. Bellevue.
No, I don't remember
junior
that.
high at Anthony Wayne. And
Hold on. Wait, I thought you were homeschooled.
That's why I say I was half homeschooled.
Busted.
Because I was homeschooled up until 8th grade, and then I went back.
And then he showed up at my school, and we all made fun of him.
Yeah, everybody they're just like, look at you fat fucking asshole. It was brutal. Yeah. No, and then they hit me with phone books because they didn't leave bruises. They learned from the cops.
What?
Yeah, it was rough.
Caleb, were you in the directory so they could call your landline?
No, I actually asked to be out of the directory because I didn't want to be beaten with my own phone number.
I thought you were going to say because then in the future I knew that this kid was going to be able to get access to it, and I don't want him to have access to calling me. His name is Paul, and we don't want him to have access to the phone number.
I can't have my name or number written anywhere that he could get a hold of it.
It's like
Trust me.
It's like the first day of school. Some kid comes up and he's like, "Don't put your name in the directory. Paul will call you."
You don't want that.
They're writing it down, and there's a box beneath, and it just says it's like the terms of agreement, but it's just the terms of Paul, and it's just a checkbox that you have to mark to be able to put your name in it, because you have to know that Paul can get it.
I kind of, dude. I kind of like though when you're not to go on a tangent, but like I liked that you had to like interact with your friend's like mom or dad for just a second. Like before you could actually get to the friend,
Right.
Nowadays you could just like text them. You could like totally circumvent it. But I developed little relationships with my friends' parents that way.
Yeah. No, it was definitely there was some nice stuff, but you get to that point eventually where it's just like,
oh yeah, that's a lot.
I'm here, I'm outside, or you hear the horn honk, and then like that was their thing. Probably a lot of horn honking.
Mine wasn't so much horn honking as it was just extremely loud cars.
Is horn honking a euphemism, or is that like literal?
No, honking the horn. Like they would just, your friend would pull up and honk the horn, and then you'd be like, all right, bye, mom.
You're like, my friends are here, I gotta go. It's like, bam, bam.
Yeah. But, and we always had cell phones, so you could just text people outside. But then you have some friends that are slow, and you just decide to go inside anyway. And I'm not going to name names because he can hear me.
Caleb.
My one friend Boone, I think I liked his dad more than I liked him. Low key.
That's how I feel about Trevor.
Wow. Whoa. I just totally knocked my mic over. There we go.
We have to you got to support Scott's new podcast, man.
He has a
Scott's on a
podcast?
podcast?
Oh yeah, he's got a podcast.
Wait, no, what's it called?
I would listen to that all day.
I'll
That's
write this down.
amazing.
It
Cocktails
is
and bullshit.
Cocktails and Bullshit, and it's on everywhere you can find a podcast, Spotify, etc.
That's amazing. I'm absolutely going to watch it. Who else is on it?
It's him and his friend Tom.
Can we have a merger?
Can we please
Dude, they
get
have
Dennis
good
Bencourt
mics.
on that? Please, can we get Dennis Bencourt?
We for sure
One of
should
our
have
good-
Dennis Bencourt on that.
Trevor and I's good friend Adam's dad, who is also good friends with Trevor's dad. That would be fantastic.
Do they have good mics? Where did this come from?
So a long time ago, my dad was like, "Hey, I have an idea for a podcast. Do you think you could help me make it?" And I was like, "Maybe." And we kind of brainstormed on it a little bit, and it was like, I don't know if I can, like, I personally don't know if I could like do everything I need to get you set up in a way that it's like easy for you to create and publish a podcast. But recently this website launched, which is called Anchor FM, and with Anchor you can just use their app, and you can have your people be anywhere they want to be, just also on the app, and you can all record from the phone, and then you can just publish it to like every podcast platform that there is. So he's doing that
from Anchor.
straight from Anchor, and you just
Wow.
publish your.
This sounds like
you know,
a plug for Anchor, like a badly disguised plug for Anchor.
If we were
yeah, I
sponsored,
mean,
that'd be
Anchor's
great.
not paying me or anything, but like if they wanted to pay me, then like Anchor FM guys, go check it out. Use code Trevor.
Code Trevor, man, you get that all to yourself. It's not code Chat Pack, code Caleb. It's code
Yeah,
Trevor.
it's
What
just
the
Trevor.
hell?
Wait.
You didn't let me
actually-
finish. It's Trevor, Caleb, Paul, Ben, 15.
Wow,
and
that's
that's
a long
15%
one.
off. It's easy to remember though.
Can we do instead, since we don't have any sponsors, can we do anti-sponsorships where instead of like promoting a company,
We
we
alienate
just, like,
them.
complain? Yeah, we alienate. So we'll just keep alienating as like a threat until one of them finally gives us some money and then we stop.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Because I mean, I could start right now. I gotta come.
Oh boy, who are you mad at?
Well, I was at a wedding this weekend.
Oh,
I
whose
was
wedding?
Your wedding? Ben, you're married.
Congratulations!
Thanks.
I'm so glad you're
It's-
spending your honeymoon with us in Chicago.
That's right.
That's waiting.
No, I was a groomsman, and so I rented a tuxedo from Black Tux,
Mhm.
the Black Tux.
Wait,
And
the
their colors-
store is called Black Tux?
No, it's like an online service.
Wait. You rented a tux from an online tux rental service?
Yes.
That exists?
Oh yeah.
How do you get like fitted for
Are
it?
you
How does that
surprised?
work?
Yeah. No. So you have to like you give them your measurement. Like all of the groomsmen did it, so we all the same.
Do they explain to you like how to measure the things you need to measure?
I already had the measurements. I have a nice suit. I don't remember if it gave explanations. I just was able to put them in.
Listen to this guy with the nice suit and the measurements.
Hey, I
I got mine off.
You ever see those?
discounted rack at Kohl's? I
Wait,
just got
hang
different-
on.
That sounds about right.
I need to still. I haven't
Still
complained
looks
yet.
good.
Oh,
I
so
haven't
no.
complained.
Anyway, so as I was
Hang on.
saying, there's this suit that people have that it's like you order in like this suit from a website, and it's got all these balls and sensors on it, and you set up a webcam, and like you just spin around with it like detecting you and all those balls and sensors or whatever, and it's like the like kind of like one of those green screen suits, but then it like senses your exact measurements, and then you can
Caleb's
use
thinking about
that.
members.
It just
What
it
are you
detects the
talking
length of your member and the width and like the,
All right,
the
can we-
diameter base height of
Okay.
it.
Length
Can you-
over girth divided by.
All right, Ben, you were saying you're
Anyway,
Cool.
look, here's the deal. Everything worked great. It was almost perfect, but the collars on the tuxedo suit were like cardboard. And actually, so I was staying with my girlfriend's parents. So that was already like, actually, they're pretty nice. It was a lot of fun. But
They listen, don't they?
okay, that's enough for you.
That's a yes.
Shut up, Caleb. It's
No.
not funny.
So I had the the collar actually, because I was out on the dance floor, and I actually scraped up my neck. So there were these 2 splotches that got kind of red and swollen. And unless you looked at them closely, they look like 2 big hickeys on my neck. So then when I'm at like hanging out with her parents, I just have like what looks like 2 big hickeys on my neck from the collar. So black tux, figure that out.
Wait. So let me get this straight. So your major issue with this company is that the tux that you rented from them gave you 2 rashes that resemble hickeys, and that's their fault somehow.
Yep.
Yeah, because the collar is like a piece of cardboard. It's not like it has no give at all. So if you move your neck at all, it's like
it's a rental tux from the internet.
I expect better.
I expected less, honestly.
You know what? Users use demo code Ben Colvin, and they will add 25% to the price of your. You're like,
did you just call it the demote code?
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Oh God, my neck's too fat. I can't have it. I can't button the top button of suits.
You need the suit with all the sensors so that you can get it.
You started talking about that, and I literally just spaced out because it's like whatever you're talking about.
It's so interesting.
So unbelievably not important because I don't think it's real.
Hold on. You put the suit on. There's a video. It detects your measurements, and then you buy clothes online without even having to somebody, measure you and feel up your inner thigh. I've avoided that intentionally. That's why I wear clothes to make me look like I'm homeless.
Wait.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Where? How much does the ball suit cost?
I think it's free when you sign up, because they want you to buy their clothes. This website, which I cannot remember, just Google ball suit plus clothing.
Oh God!
Yeah, don't do that though. Don't actually
do that. But what you should do?
Go to Google Images.
Go to your favorite podcast streaming platforms or the YouTube. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Give us a follow. Because this has been the Chat Pack Podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Hasn't been anything
what
organized.
A beautiful segue that was until Caleb started talking.
Yeah, I literally had a perfect way to wrap up the show. And then Caleb, of course, can't let me finish any of the rigmaroles to make this sound any form of professional. But there's nothing about this show.
We don't want professionalism.
Yeah, there's nothing about this show.
We want raw, unadulterated Trevorisms.
Unadulterated?
Thank you to my lovely co-host for joining the show tonight, gentlemen. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. I look forward to seeing 2 of you. Trevor, buy a ticket to Chicago. Come hang out this weekend.
Do it.
Yeah.
You got money. Just come fly out. Come hang out.
You're loaded.
I don't have money.
Amanda, just do it. Just take the credit card. For it. Just take the credit card, book a flight, get here on Friday, leave on Monday. It will be fine. Just figure it out.
Figure it out. Give your balls a tug.
A little adult lesson for y'all. Life hack maybe. If you buy things with credit cards, you can pay off those credit cards with newer credit cards, and then you just have infinite money, like forever. Like you can just keep buying more credit cards.
Trevor went to business school, so that's real.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It
works. Trust me, it works.
Don't pay off your student loans with credit cards. It doesn't work.
Ben, I don't know. Trevor went to business school. I'm kind of going to trust him on this.
Yeah.
And you should trust us to be your favorite podcast every week. Every Monday, we release a new episode. And
it's Mondays.
Yeah. Thanks for knowing that, Caleb. God, what people, if they've made it this far.
Nobody's made it this far, except for Trevor's dad. He's the only one who cares.
Hey, we're up to 48 total listens. We got some people out there. And one day, we're going to step up stuff and do some more content for people. Because Trevor has someone out there.
Seconds.
Someone has out there is interested in us doing more stuff. So we have to do it now. It's a
zebra, man.
So can we title this? Just Trainwreck?
Yeah. That's fair.
Or like behind the scenes. Special preview. Behind the scenes of Chat Pack.
This is where the money's been made. But anyway, thank you all so much this week. It has been a wonderful, wonderful evening hanging out with everyone and y'all. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Night.